And it literally became a very simple oops that created this catastrophic, cataclysmic failure, which allowed you access to pretty much anything, anywhere on this person's site, whatever it was. So functionality is going to continue to be our problem because we all know, we've already agreed that Web 2.0 is all about functionality and the next cool thing, right? Each additional layered component is another chance to screw up security. Right? Every time we add another piece of functionality, it's another chance to do something horribly, horribly wrong. And the problem with it is, you can have a bulletproof site that is absolutely impenetrable-ish, and it takes one character, that asterisk, and everything's gone. Right? So one itty-bitty error, and all of its history. That's a pretty big failure. So could you guys live without? How many of you guys use Google services? Could you live without that?
No.
Yeah, you're nodding your head, but you could. Multiple app integrations, right? You log into one, you log into Google Calendar, you switch over to Gmail, you switch over to Blogger, you switch over to Reader, all this stuff. What if all that went away? I mean, you have to log in 100 times. How annoying. Have you seen these little Google, Twitter, Facebook log me in things that exist out there? Adobe Air apps? You realize that there's one application that lives, that's written by Adobe because Adobe's impeccable record for security, that owns all your credentials to all your social networking? That's a brilliant idea. And I can't say enough good things about Flash. I love Flash. But then again, I repurpose apps just slightly to my own advantage. So why do I love Flash so much? Let's look at some really bad Flash examples. And these are really bad not because I made them up, but because these are from actual pen tests. These aren't actually even pen tests. One of them's from a pen test. The other ones are from sitting in a room with customers of ours that tell us they don't have security problems in Flash. Okay, you ready for this? This is going to be pretty funny. All right, so I always ask, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, you could have, for example, manipulation of business logic. So this is some source code from a Flash file. Before you start reading that, oops. So, anybody seen Billy Wins a Cheeseburger? All right, so our yeah, you've seen it. So our former labs director, one Billy Hoffman, was Billy and team were sitting at a favorite hangout restaurant down in Atlanta one day over lunch, and that's just never a good idea to have those guys in the same place. Turn off all the electronics, I guess. But they had this little card on the table, and I'm sure you've seen these at least every once in a while. You know, tell us about your experience. You may win a gift certificate. Anybody seen those before? What if you didn't have to even give them your opinion? You could just get a gift certificate. Wouldn't that be cool? Free money, free food. So they went, and this site, this company, was giving away something for free. Of course, they were varying degrees of like free meal, free drink, you know, other kind of stuff, to everybody that replied to the survey. So they opened up this app, and of course, you know, the way we roll is we have our browser open and a proxy behind it, just because I want to see what goes on back and forth. And you know, you log into the application, you fill all the stuff out, and you hit send, and you'll notice that it sends an encrypted packet over. And you look at it and you go, yeah, there's a large encrypted string here. What happens if I replay this, right? What if I just resend that packet? Well, nothing happened. All right, cool, fair enough, right? They fixed the whole replay attack issue. Can't do that twice. So, I mean, Flash files, right? You can't really decompile them, can you? Of course you can. So what do you think happened? You open up the Flash file, you decompile it nicely, you look at the source code for the way the encryption is built, and you get this. So we looked at how they, so first thing I always do is I do a quick search for the word submission, and there it is, submission data, right? This is how this is their data constructor for sending this packet out to let them know that you've won something. Score equals, there's my score. Game ID equals game. Easy enough. Timestamp, okay, that's my anti-replay. And then you see, oh man, there's a key encrypted data. Drat, spoiled. Well, not really, because encrypted data is an MD5 hash of this string. Then you go, well, now I got to find, oh no, wait, there it is. The string to pass is game ID plus score plus time plus algo. And you go, well, I don't know the algorithm. Actually, you do. It's right there. So we took their Flash app. Instead of having to play this complicated game and fill out a survey at the end and hope to win a prize, we just made a game that had a big red button. You push the button, this happens, you win a prize. Ta-da! We eventually told them about it. They were really cool about it too. They were like, oh wow, can you give back some of those gift certificates? Client-side data validations, right? We all know validating data on the client is bad. Epically great example. Anybody ordered Domino's pizza before? Online? You guys remember their $5 pizza donut ad about a while ago? Have you heard the problems that resulted from that? You guys already know, don't shh. So a while ago, the geniuses over at Domino's realized that the economy was starting to kind of, go in the proverbial pooper. And they decided they're going to run an ad campaign. There's going to be a twofold ad campaign. First part of it was going to be they're going to try to give away $5 pizzas, right? They don't sell enough. If that doesn't go well and people just aren't biting on a $5 pie, all right, we're going to do buy one, get one free, or free pizza. So they went to their marketing company. Should have been everybody in this room immediately got a light bulb over their heads, I think. I just saw light bulbs go on. And they said, develop an app for us for our Flash-based site that will allow us to run these ad campaigns. Well, now, they could have written two separate Flash apps, but they wanted to save time, so they wrote one. So, one day, somebody I may or may not know is looking at this app and, again, watching the browser, the proxy in the background, puts in the coupon code for a $5 pizza. The price obviously changes to $5, and he realizes, wait a second, nothing came across the proxy. It's not validating that coupon on the server. That means it's validating it locally. I should decompile this Flash file. So he did. Found an if statement. If coupon code equals X, price equals $5. What do you think the next line was? If coupon code equals Y, price equals 0. Send it to 11,000 of his closest friends. Free pizza. So another great example of this is something like this. You can't make this up. This is real, I promise. But I actually removed all the personal company information. I actually had one down here that I forgot, and somebody went to it and they called me. But this is real. This is about 6 months old. Written by a marketing company who does, what are we drinking today? Pepsi or Coke products? Okay, so you may or may not be drinking the company that does, the customer of one of these guys that wrote this app. May or may not. So these guys that wrote this have lots of big name companies, including soft drink companies and other large companies. And they do promotions for them. And they include passwords and usernames in the Flash file. All right, so, I mean, how much worse can it get? What else could possibly go wrong? Now, at this point, you're saying to yourself, well, we've got the data inside, we've got the username and password in the file already. We've got people putting encryption into the client, and there's nothing worse they could do, right? Let's one-up that. What if they were an ERP database accessible to the internet written in Flash?
Root access?
You know what that turns into very quickly? A front end for anything you want. Looks something like this. But these guys were clever. See that? The connection string was garbled. You know where it tells you how to ungarble that? 48 lines down. I didn't include that here because that makes it obvious who it is, but There's nothing quite